welcome into this episode of The Secret Sauce. And I want to share some ideas from the book here, The Fundamentals of Business Success, about pricing. Now, pricing is a crucial aspect of your garment decorating business. And according to and this is not a hard scientific fact, but my gut is telling me that about 85% of the people that I've polled, their biggest challenge is pricing strategy. So every time I kind of meet somebody new, one of the questions we put on the forum is, what's the biggest challenge in your business? And about 85% of those responses are pricing. And I'll be honest with you, the first major problem I see that why they're challenged with this is they don't understand their true costs, right? How much does it cost you just to open your doors each day? So I think that's where we're going to start. You got to be honest with yourself. Do you know how much all of your expenses are and what it costs you daily or hourly to be in business, including paying yourself, including planning for the future? So this isn't just about how much your materials cost. It's, do you understand the full picture of your business, your overhead, the time that you're going to invest, even, like I said, the salary that you pay yourself? So if you're not planning or paying yourself now, don't expect to ever change that as your company grows. You're pricing yourself out of ever having anything more than an expensive hobby if you don't plan to pay for yourself as part of your costs. Remember, every business is unique, and your pricing should be a reflection of your specific costs. So that's the first area, right? That's the first tip. But once you get your arms around your costs, then you can start setting pricing. And I just want to warn you, don't fall into that trap of copying your competitors or kind of using oversimplified formulas. If anybody ever tells you that 3X is what you should be charging, or if you're an embroiderer, $1 per 1,000 stitches, or whatever that oversimplified formula is, first thing you should do is ask them why, right? And then expect actual details, because the reality is they can't answer why for your business, right? They don't know your business. They don't know your unique cost structure. Your pricing strategy should be based on market value pricing, right? And that's just simply saying it's about what your costs are and what the value is that you provide. So your ideal customers and your unique business values will dictate your price. So your price should be that dictation of, what is it that my ideal customers need, and how do they value that, and then what are those values that I can provide, right? So from that place, if you think about it, customers are willing to pay for the value that they need, and that unique value is what you bring. So if you can't make the money you need to make to be successful, then your job is to figure out how to change that perceived value. So let's talk about perceived value here real quick as we kind of start to wrap this up. In today's world, personalization is key. From the customer service, customization, personalization, right, to products tailored to individual preferences. Personalization will increase the perceived value of your products more easily than almost any other method out there. So think about this. Like, think about grandma who has a picture of her grandkids, and she gets to have that on an item that she can use daily. Do you think the actual cost is what the factor is on buying the item? The reality is no, right? If you're in a reasonable ballpark, right, you might be on the high side, but if you're in a reasonable ballpark, I know that grandma is buying, right? I know my mom, here's the blank check, right? If it's something that means that much to her, it's personalized to her. And so again, as long as it's within a ballpark, it's a quality product, and it's got her grandkids on it. We're talking about my mom here. You won't have to haggle over the price. So think about ways you can personalize things for your ideal customers. And again, it's not only just the image or the product itself, but can you personalize services to them, to what they need, right? Or can you personalize the way you do business so that you can save them time, energy, or just solve a problem for them? But personalizing to your unique customer will change that perceived value. Now, another way to increase your perceived value is through bundling and direct pricing, right? One or the other, or both, right? So if you think about items you sell, how often is one thing sold at the same time as another thing is, right? Maybe it's a hat and a shirt, a coffee mug and a coaster, a jacket and a beanie cap, right? If you bundle those things together, not only does it make it easier for your customers to buy, right? They don't have to think about, do I want both, right? It also will increase your sales without having to reduce your prices. So somebody that might just buy a hat, but there's a bundle that's a hat and a shirt. Oh, well, I do need both. You're right. All right. So now my sales have gone up and you can still basically sell those for the same price that you would sell them individually. Right. I've seen that a ton. Two products separately don't sell. You put them together, you say sell them for the same price if they're added together, and it starts to sell. So that's bundling. Now, direct pricing is another strategy that we can look at, and it's about clear, straightforward pricing with no hidden fees. Right? Like I've seen a lot of the yada yada commercials lately. Right? The cell phone carrier, they're promoting the fact that they have direct pricing and it makes the buyer more comfortable regardless of the end price. You know, they don't feel like they're going to get the wool pulled over their eyes and you say, "Yep, so this shirt is $7 for 24, whatever the deal is. Oh, and by the way, there's art fees, there's this, there's that." I'm not saying that everything has to be one single price, but understand what your customers need and make that a direct relationship to what they value, right? Don't try to like just add in and nickel and dime them beyond that, right? So ultimately becoming a pricing master, it does take practice, but it's a journey that is worth embarking on. It's worth becoming the best at pricing in your company, right? I hear way too many people to say, "Oh, I hate the pricing part." To be a successful small business owner, you have to understand that pricing strategy is an art that is then backed by some science, a spreadsheet, right, to know your cost. But it's finding a balance for what works for you and your ideal customer. So I'm always happy to help if you have pricing questions. I just want you to know how crucial pricing is to a successful business. So reach out to me anytime. Let's make your business survive and thrive, right? So we're always looking to survive. And then the secret sauce to successful pricing is in a garment decorating business is you have to understand your cost and then innovate with perceived value propositions, right? Understand the value your customer is looking for and then meet those needs. You have what it takes to be a successful business and there's plenty of available work out there for you. You just need to master the art of pricing. So that is my secret sauce for today. Thank you guys.